It's 1040 AM KGGR 106.9 FM. We are so glad that you guys have decided to join us on this great day, New Music Monday. And let me tell you, we are so excited about spotlighting our, and I do say our, artist here for you guys, and they belong to you as well. First, they belong to God, then they belong to us. All right, so we are so excited about the Anthony Hall, who is definitely joining us on today. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, we are just fine, and we're so excited. This is the home of your music, and so
Sure.
we are so grateful to God for you stopping by, and you have an event coming up, which we're going to talk about that as well. So
Yeah.
first, we want to get inside of who you are and inside of the music, the awesome music that you create.
You know, I'm just a little boy from New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? Originally, and I love funk music, and I love New Jack, and I just wanted to do what was me. We had plans on doing other kind of music and stuff like that, and I'm just like, yo, I just want to be myself. And so I grew up in studios with my dad. My dad's a jazz musician down in New Orleans, and I just always had the dream of doing what I'm doing now, and finally being able to do it is just an amazing thing, man. But I'm just a quiet, down home, guy that creates what I do, and people love it. So
Yeah.
I just I give the people what they want, but but for the main part, it's just doing what God has instructed me to do, and walking down that path the right way, with my friends and my family, man. It's just been an amazing time.
Well, I am from Mississippi, so that's right around the
From the
corner from
SIP, okay,
New
yeah,
Orleans. So that
yeah,
means you're probably my cousin.
for sure.
And you said New Orleans. It's pronounced Nowlands, right?
Nolans, that's what the tourists say. They be like, I'm going to Nolans, but it's New Orleans. It's not New Orleans, New Orleans. It's New Orleans.
Just New Orleans, all
Yeah,
together.
for
That's so
sure.
awesome. So with you being from there and then now living in Houston, how did you get to Texas?
I got to Texas. I moved to Houston maybe a year after Katrina came through New Orleans, and it was just a great town for business. I started to be successful in business. I'm an entrepreneur first, and so was able to start some businesses and be successful in that area. And then God was like, "Yo, it's time. It's time to do what I gave you." And so I love Houston. Houston is, now become my first home. My kids were born here, and so a lot of my friends and business partners are here, and co-music artists. Houston has a rich artistry, that's based out of here, man. And we provide a lot for that creative community through our studio and the things that we do here in the community with all of the up and coming artists. And so it's just been a great time here in Houston. I love it.
Well, and you talk about your roots are being so strong in classical or jazz funk, or well, pretty much I'm pretty sure you can do it all. How do you merge the two into gospel?
Yeah, and so a lot of times when you hear like a gospel record that's funky, or a gospel record that's kind of New Jack or whatever, they start from the mindset of gospel first, right? So it's like, I have this gospel song, let's add these funk elements to it. I kind of do it backwards. I say I have a funk song and I want to make it gospel. And so when you hear it, it's more pure funk than gospel. It doesn't do all of the gospel hits and all that kind of stuff. It's just literally a funk song, literally, what it's supposed to be, R&B song or whatever. And I just write about a different topic. I think the thing that separates, gospel from other genres is who we're talking to, not necessarily the sound of what we're doing, and so I've really taken that to heart, and I just talk to the right person, and that's all, man. That's awesome. When people hear my music, like, yo, this sounds like real funk. Like, yes, it is. I'm just talking to Jesus instead of, the big payback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
Wow. So you write, produce, I mean, you do some of everything. So talk about your latest music, and who did you collab with? Who helped?
Yeah, and so on my last album, Roosevelt, I wrote, recorded, produced a lot of it, mixed the record. As you can see, I'm in my studio at the house. This is the house. And so I collaborated with DW, Timothy Wright's son. The late, great Timothy Wright. Son is an amazing bass player. My guy down here, Eric, and Madison and Freddie, they're on my team. And we just released holiday EP where I was on there with JoJo Martin and Keandra Lockett. And I'm releasing a single coming out real soon with Jason Nelson. And we've collaborated with a lot of people, Aja Walls, the Walls Group, and if I start naming names, I'll forget people. Jonathan Nelson, everybody, man. We love collaborating and creating with people, and it's just been an amazing experience. And so we started on a new record recently, and we have Bart Orr working on the record. D-Lo is coming down today. D-Lo is one of the biggest gospel producers out right now, and I'll be working with Fred Jerkins. And so I'm just really excited about where God has taken me and the avenues that he's opened up, just from me being obedient and working the work. You have to work the work for people to want to work with you, and so that's what we do. And, Uncle G's favorite saying is, we won't be outworked, and so we are working for sure.
I like it. Who inspires you most?
Oh, man, my grandfather was one of the biggest inspirations to me. My album that's out now was named after him. It's called Roosevelt. And he was a guitar player, and he really helped me hone my songwriting just by being around. We would go in the house and he would sit down with his guitar and write songs about what we were doing, what we had on, what we were playing or whatever. He would just write a song. And it kind of really opened my ear to songwriting. And his favorite artist and my grandmother's favorite artist was James Brown. And so it was just a natural progression for me when I ride in my car on the weekend, I have James Brown on, so that's who I am. It's not like I'm trying to do something that I'm not. I've been in this for so long. And Prince, I listen to those guys a lot more than I listen to some of the new stuff, especially in secular music that's out. I listen to James Brown, I listen to Prince, Donny Hathaway, those type of, that type of music. And that's in my soul, and so he's my biggest inspiration musically, that got me kind of started. And my dad, of course, invested in me earlier. He let me put a studio in his house, and he was touring and doing stuff, and he would come home late, and he wouldn't say anything about the loud music playing in the back of the house, because he's like, number one, I know that you're home, and number two, I know that you're pursuing the thing that is meant for you, and it's going to pay off one day, and so now it is, he's able to see that, and so I'm just grateful for that.
So what do you mean touring? What all did he do?
My dad was a professional musician since he was a teenager, and so he plays sax, and so he was in all of the horn sections, and so I remember growing up in New Orleans, going to Jazz Fest, watching him on the side of the stage play with the biggest artists, and then being able to stand, next to the guys from Earth, Wind and Fire and meet all kind of people, Irma Thomas and Fats Domino and all the people from New Orleans that are great. And I really didn't appreciate it when I was younger, because I didn't know that was the norm for me, was to get up and go see my dad play and do his thing. But I didn't want to be an artist. I just wanted to go on stage and sing and perform, because that's what I saw. And my dad was like, yo, if you want to do that, you have to have a record. You have to be an artist if you want to perform. You can't just go on stage and sing for nothing, And so that kind of led to me wanting to be an artist and be a producer, and create music.
Wow, such a rich family music history. So
it's like, for sure.
Of course, this is what you were supposed to do.
Absolutely.
But if you weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
I'll be doing all the other stuff that I do now. And so, like I said, I'm an entrepreneur. I own a bevy of businesses, from real estate to software development, and to media creation. I direct videos and commercials and all those kind of things. And that kind of keeps the bills paid, while we do our music. I own an 18,000 square foot media facility here in Houston with my co-owner, Dominique. And we have like 3 or 4 recording studios and 2 theaters in that place. And, a creative firm, and Percy Beatty has a studio on the back hall there. We have an Atmos mixer room. It's like the new spatial audio thing. And so I'll be doing that. I would still be doing what I'm doing. I just wouldn't be writing and singing songs,
That's pretty amazing. Come on, Black History Month.
We started, from business, and we just was like, we're gonna create business, we're gonna create wealth, create a way for our kids to succeed. And then God said, it's time for you to do you know, what you wanted to do. And so I think a lot of people miss that. Like, you have to take care of home, and home will take care of your dream, you know? And so it's been amazing to do all that.
If you had just one, who is that one person that an artist that you really want to collab with one day? Like, you're just looking forward to, I'm going to work with this person.
Yeah, you know, initially it was Jason Nelson, and I remember growing up listening to, you know, not even growing up, just listening to his music, growing up in music, trying to make it, and I was like, man, he's amazing, you know, and I work with him frequently. You know, he's like a pastor figure to me now. He kind of advises me and things like that. And then of course I remember when Jonathan wrote Healed for Donald Lawrence, that really changed how I wrote gospel music at the time, you know. And now he's like a big brother. And so I've kind of reached that plateau, and I've met a lot of people, Mally and all these guys. I haven't worked with them, but the one person that I want to work with is Jay Moss.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Got to work with Jay Moss before it's all over.
Amazing.
I'm working with Fred. And so that was a big thing. I was, you know, when Fred walked in the room, Fred is, he's so chill. And I was starstruck the first time. And I went to, there was a gospel brunch I went to, and I walked in, and Fred Jerkins called me over, and he was like, I want you to sing your song for me. I want you to sing Altar Call. And I was like, yo, what? How do you even know that? He was like, go tell him to sing your song. And so I actually like interrupted the service because Fred wanted to hear me sing, and now, you know, working with him. But somebody call Jay Moss and tell Jay Moss that I want to work with him, man. It'll be a dream come true. And Kirk Franklin, love to work on. I've worked with Kirk Franklin as far as he's used my studio, and he's come down. They recorded the drum line for Bless Me at our studio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I've got to work with him in that capacity, but doing a song with Kirk would be a great thing too. And I know enough people that's kind of close to Kirk that I can probably figure something out if I try.
We can get,
you know, but
we can make it happen now.
Yeah, but Jay is a whole nother thing, man. I would really love to do a song with Jay Moss. The way that I sing, I you know, growing up, I didn't have anybody that sung like me. And then when I heard Jay Moss on, the first time I had Jay Moss was when he produced that Minute Standard album, Feels Like Rain, and I've been stuck ever since. So.
Wow, that is so amazing. And we're going to be praying for you, because it's definitely going to happen.
Please. I'm going to call you when it does.
Oh, good. Listen, make sure you do that, because I'm going to be in the front row. I might be in the studio.
Got you. Let's do it. Let's do it.
That is so awesome. So talk about this event that you have coming up. You're coming to Dallas.
Yes.
We are excited about it, and we all need to be there, right?
Yes, everybody needs to be there. We have limited space available, but it's free. And I'm bringing my artist, Tatiana Barnett. She has an amazing record that's out right now. She's one of the biggest worship leaders here in Houston. And my guy, Jojo Martin, he kind of comes everywhere with me now. We're like brothers for real, you know? And so, and it's an honor to say that about Jojo, because the fact that he will come with me and sing and open up for me is a big deal, because JoJo is a thing, you know? And so it's just a humbling thing, man, to have friends and family like that. But I am bringing my live show to Dallas. I did the album, and most people love the album, but my live show is a completely different animal of its own. Everything we do on the album, we do live times 10 with the live band and singers, and it's an amazing thing to see. And so we wanted to, I was working on a new album. My next album is called Bertha Lee. It's named after my grandmother. And it's a real New Orleans, like funk, you know, soulful album. But I figured, like, I still have some left in Roosevelt. You know, I still have something that the people need to see. And there's a lot of albums coming out this year. And so I didn't want to release new music right off the heels of my other music, with so much new music coming out. You know, I believe that there should be space and things, you know, and so I listen to God when he speaks. But he was like, yo, you're not finished with what you have. And so people need to see your live show. And so we're going to record my live album visually and audibly in Dallas at ClearScope Media with my guy, Tony, man. And if you don't know Tony has been responsible for the latest Maverick City stuff, the Maverick City tour. He shoots all of that. He works with Kirk Franklin. He's that guy out there. And we're going to be at his studio, and we're going to be doing a live recording right there in Dallas, Texas, man, with my people. It's going to be a great time, an amazing time. We're really excited about it. And so the tickets are actually going pretty fast. So if you want to come, it's absolutely
free. So even
free.
though it's free, we still have to get the tickets.
You still have to register on Eventbrite. So if you go to Eventbrite and you can just search Roosevelt Live Recording, or look at events in Dallas and type in Roosevelt. It'll pop right up, and you can just register your name, so that, because we can only hold so many people, so we have to make sure we track how many people will actually show up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's completely free. I just want people to see it. I want people to be in the room. We're gonna make it like Soul Train. It's gonna be a great time.
Great. And what's the date?
That's March 9th. It's a Thursday night. Doors open at 7, and we'll get started promptly at 8 p.m. And I believe in timeliness, so we won't be there all night. I promise. I promise. My set is about 30 minutes. And so we'll be there for about an hour or two. And we'll have some fun, man. Like I said, if you've never been to an Anthony Hall show, it is fun. I believe that with this record, God told me that the people just need to have a good time. Just come in and forget your worries, forget your cares, and just dance and have fun, and do it to music that's uplifting, and spiritual. And so, yeah, it's going to be a funky good time out there in Dallas. I'm excited about it.
I like that. There you go. Funky good time. So make sure that you come on out. That's March 9th. You do have to go to Eventbrite to go ahead and register. And we are looking for, it's called Roosevelt Live Recording, correct?
Yep. Roosevelt Live Recording, or search Anthony Hall. It'll pop right up at your Eventbrite at eventbrite.com.
Okay, good. All right. We are so excited for you. Oh my goodness. There's so much that I did not know. I mean, you hear the music all the time. We play your music right here on the station.
Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
You are so welcome. But to actually dive into who you are, there's so much more we want to talk about. So we definitely want to welcome you to come back.
And that's the thing with this new record. I think one thing that I could do better at is letting people know who I am. You hear my music and you don't know where it comes from or why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing it. And so being more personal, letting people, I'm a very private person, but I'm opening the doors behind that. In this live recording, you'll see that, we're doing a few new songs and, a few, things to let people really dive into who is Anthony Hall and why I'm the way that I am and what we're doing. So it's going to be a great time.
Wow. I am just excited about it. Thank you so very much for stopping by. And
no worries.
I'll definitely be at the event, and hopefully everyone else will be too.
Yes. I'm so excited to meet you guys. It's going to be fun, man. We're going to have a great time.
What is your #1 favorite gospel radio station in Dallas?
KGGR 140 AM, 106.9 FM.
Awesome. Thank you.